All right, welcome in. It is time for Total Bases. Tokyo Brandon is back with us. TB, yesterday I said your meal looked amazing. Brian wasn't sure as much about eating eel. I thought it looked awesome. Hopefully you're having a good time out in what you said, like a little bit of a holiday in the country right now.
Yes. Yes, pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I'm at my in-laws right now, and they live in the mountains in central Japan. So, yeah, if you Google Gozai Show, you'll see where I'm at. But yeah, it's the Japanese Alps basically. So, yeah, pretty sketchy
Very,
internet. But despite being out here and despite getting stuck in a traffic jam yesterday and not being able to make the show, I went 4-0. So that was pretty good.
yeah, I would. You should have run it back today with the traffic jam and
I should be
not.
doing the plays from my car.
Yeah, definitely. That's what Brian has had similar success with that. When he hits the road, he's out in Ohio. He rattles off a 10-1 run. So, Brian, how was your Thursday?
Well, we bounced back with our best play yesterday, which was the first 500 in the Cleveland Detroit game. But I did take a shot at the Miami Marlins over
Yeah,
that 3.5 team total as a small play, but we ended up with a profit. But yeah, it's I was a little disappointed in those bats. I'll tell you that.
hmm yeah. That was someone in the comments was like, "You guys spoke the Ashcraft shutout into existence." I mean, listen, there's a guy that can do it on a given day. He's definitely got the ability, and he pitched great yesterday. 2-2 for me yesterday, but I swept my top plays, so both my 4%ers hit. One of them I gave to you on the show, which was the Nationals easy win, no sweat, never really in doubt right there, and it cashed the parlay for the show. My other 4%er, the Arizona Cardinals, another no doubter. It's my sixth consecutive NFL preseason winner. I hit all four of my plays last year and the final play of 2024. So I've got a nice 6-game winning streak in the NFL preseason. I believe my package, even though it was supposed to come down, the special was supposed to come down after the first game went off. I think it's still up there. So if you're looking for NFL preseason, I think I'm your guy. And I will likely have a 5%er in the preseason at some point. It might be this weekend. Depends. I want to see how the market sort of plays out. Again, that was another one yesterday where they started to bet the Raiders like crazy. Got to 2.5, 3. I decided to play back at it. No sweat winner on the Cardinals. So all
I had
three
the
of us.
Pirates plus 130. That was cool. Or I'm
You
sorry,
said
the
Pirate?
Brewers. The Brewers.
Brewers.
And I also had the Pirates. So those were two of my wins yesterday. Two of my 4 wins. I was pretty stoked. I was stoked the Brewers came back. Edwin Diaz, man, what's wrong with him? And why did Dave
Yeah.
Roberts leave him in 4 hits in a row? You got to take that guy out after 2 hits.
Yeah, it's for him, we'll,
Horrible
we'll
managing.
probably talk about that game. He's it's always tough when you have to sort of shut it down in the middle of the season, build back up. Of course, he had, rehab assignment, and now you're expected. That's got to be even tougher for a closer because you're in like low leverage rehab appearances, and then quickly like you're right back out there into huge spots. So yeah, you don't feel like you don't see that too often where like closers get hurt in the middle of the season. I mean, it happens, but usually when it happens, usually they're done. It's
That's
usually
the
something that's
manager's.
bad enough. Yeah.
It's the manager's job to recognize that. Unfortunately, the Dodgers do not have a capable manager.
As you've told us many times on this show. But I'm going to go listen. We were going to go here anyway. D. Cerna says, let's talk Cubs early game. This is national TV, Apple TV, and because it's at Wrigley on a Friday, Brian Leonard, it is a day game. So the Cubbies, maybe, wasn't their best effort yesterday. They, of course, won the first 2 games against the Nats, kind of ran into a buzzsaw. Cade Cavalli was fantastic, as I expected him to be, as we talked about on this show. Now the Cubs back home against the Cardinals. Kick us off, Cubs Cardinals. How do you see this one?
Yeah, before we get to the game, I just want to let everybody know I do have a 5% going today. I just put it up right before the show started. So you want to get the best line possible. So chances are you should probably get it in the near future. 9-2 run on the 5%, 5 straight winners on 5%. And the run we've been on the last couple of months here. Okay, we got Liberatore, the lefty, going against Holmes. Holmes about a 190 favorite here. Maybe 185 with a total of 8 to the under. I would have liked to have found a way to play the Cubs, but I can't play the Cubs at this number. Holmes has only been back for one game, and he really wasn't impressive in that regard. Liberatore is usually a guy I'm looking to fade a little bit if I'm playing St. Louis. I like the other guys a lot better than I like him, but he's not, for a number 5 guy, he's not a bad number 5 guy in the majors. There's a lot of teams that have a number 3 that they would love to have Liberatore there for that role. But the Cubs are the more talented team. We've seen St. Louis fade a little bit in the second half of the season, but they're not giving up. They are still going out there, giving everything they've got. They've done a tremendous job from a coaching standpoint this year, and they're always really a live underdog. That said, I don't know if I'm going to get there on this one. Like I said, I prefer the Cubs, but no way I can lay that number. You got to find a different way to play this one, I think.
Yeah, Cubs Cardinals to UTB. Anything for you in the early game?
Yeah, this is kind of a weird one, so I'll just preface it by saying I probably won't play it. I have 4 MLB plays up today. So after my 4-0, you gotta put plays out when you're hot, and then you gotta pull back when you're cold. So I'm red hot right now. I actually this morning won my 2 Japanese baseball plays as well, so I'm on a 6-0 run. So I'm shooting, baby. This is a weird one though. Like I kind of agree with Brian that Liberatore is not generally a guy I like to back, but Holmes has the better surface numbers. But if you dig, he's got a 1.16 whip, which is very acceptable. His ERA is nice too, but the problem is he's walking too many people. So I have a feeling he's getting kind of lucky. His walk rate is he's walking more people than he's striking out, as a matter of fact. So Liberatore's got a very decent command and control walk rate, but I've got him ranked a lot lower than Holmes. So like Holmes' expected numbers are good and his surface numbers are good, but his walks are out of control. So yeah, not a guy I really want to back either. Obviously the Cubs are the better team, but this is game 1 of the series, I believe. So I'm probably going to lay off this one because I'm just getting too many conflicted signals. Cubs would have to be the play though, but we expected St. Louis to be one of the worst teams in MLB, and they got a winning record right now. So I don't know how to play it, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't play the Cubs at this number. Similar to Brian, I get why you would like the Cubs over the Cardinals, generally speaking. But Clay Holmes, so he was on the IL for a couple months. He went through the whole rehab deal. He made his 3-4 starts. I played against him in his first start back because I thought the number was crazy for him in that game against the Royals. He didn't look great. So again, does he come out and throw better here because now he's had a couple starts and he had one at the big league level? Yeah, I guess he could, but if you're just going off of what you saw in his first game with the Cubs, the fact that this guy missed a couple months, I believe his previous big league outing prior to that was May 15th. Couple starts at rehab, and one, I think only one of them at AAA. I think all the other ones were lower in the Mets organization before he got traded. Like, are you really trying to lay minus 185 with that against a Cardinals team that has been scrappy? Now, I've been anti-Cardinals as well. I can't believe they're not going to call up Josh Baez. That is just mind-blowing stuff. They said yesterday, Brian, that he's not expected to be called up, and that he's on the horizon. And you know what he did yesterday? He hit a 34th homer in AAA. I've never seen, guys have done far less over the past, I don't know how much more, what else do you have to do to get called up? And then now you can't even use the excuse that they're trying to manipulate his time because the cutoff has passed. So that's infuriating to me because if he was called up today and in the lineup, he would instantly improve this Cardinals lineup. Just by being in the lineup. The guy's got 34 bombs at AAA. It would improve their lineup. I just don't get it. At any rate, at the current number, it would have to be Cards or pass, but I don't love this Cardinals team, so it's likely a pass. I will say one more thing, though. If this is a 2 p.m. game Everyone has access to it. It's on Apple TV. If the Cubs just take all sorts of money up to game time and this gets north of $2, I may have to push back. With specifically like +1.5, you got that down to me to like -130. It's a more even matchup in my opinion than the Cubs laying $2. But I don't know right now if I'll do it at this current price. I thought it was Colin. I thought the deadline was like the 13th. I could be wrong. I thought it was the 13th. If it's the 15th, that's interesting. We'll see. But I specifically read that they said that he wasn't getting called up at that deadline. Like they came out and said it. So we'll see about that. All right, Tokyo Brandon, coming to you. Vader time. First of all, thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. We if you missed the show yesterday. Yeah, if you missed the show yesterday, we did get those. The donations went to St. Jude. You guys voted for St. Jude, and that was where our most recent donation went. So thank you guys for all the, as I've said before, the three of us have gotten like big time props from our bosses because this show crushes every other show with the amount of money donated. We very much appreciate it, and every cent that comes in through the YouTube channel and donations goes to charity. So, Tokyo Brandon, I'm coming to you because you cashed with the Pirates yesterday. I was a little wrong on this one. I thought the Marlins would generate some offense. They did not. So Vader Time says, can we talk Buccos baseball? I love the Red Sox, but everything I'm reading says take the dog. What am I not seeing? Buccos struggle against left-handed pitching. Bennett is solid. Sox have the better bullpen. Until yesterday, the Pirates were struggling against any kind of pitching. That was a big breakout for that offense, which we talked about all year being so good up to this point. Mm-hmm. And since the calendar flipped to August, they had done nothing offensively, like next to nothing. So a big breakout in that game yesterday for the Pirates, and a big win from Vader. Tokyo Brandon, does it continue here for the Pirates?
So grab a double play, guys. 2 of us 3 for 3 days, all access. Go to WagerTalk.com on any of our capper pages. It's baseball all access. It does not include Adam's football, unfortunately, but he has another package for his football that you can get as well. The double play package, 2 of us all access all of our baseball plays every league we do. Great deal. 3 days all access. Brian has a 5. I have 4 MLB plays out, and Adam usually puts 4% or more on his MLB plays. So grab 2 of us and roll with us, because we are 3 of the best cappers at WagerTalk right now. We are ranked, Adam and I are ranked number 2 and number 3. Brian's ranked number 1 last 3, 7, 30 days, whatever. So Brian's hotter than heck. Adam and I are shooting up the rankings. So 2 of us 3. Let's get to this one. Vader, let me give you some advice. Don't pay attention to what other people are betting. Look at the games and go with your instinct and just bet it. And don't worry about these people are saying this, these people are saying that. Just bet what you think. Pirates are playing very well, and I was on them yesterday. I think there are 2 red flags against the Pirates today. Number 1 red flag is they are returning home after a victory. And the second red flag is they scored more than 10 runs yesterday. So those 2 things put together, plus the fact that I like Bennett a lot more than Chandler, I think leads to either a Boston win, or I kind of like the Pirates team total under as well. I think those 2 red flags that I just mentioned usually lead to a flat spot for a team coming back home, and after they just exploded for runs and had a really convincing victory. I think the Pirates are going to be extremely flat today. And I think you guys have talked praise about Bubba Chandler before. I don't really like what I'm seeing from him, but I love what I'm seeing from Bennett. So I would either go Boston moneyline or Pirates team total under is how I would do this. I think I like the Pirates team total under. I might make that my parlay leg. Let me wait till the end of the show to affirm that. That's how I would play this one.
Real quick, any all access package at WagerTalk is all sports for the handicapper. It's just the double play is just baseball. So that's a baseball specific. Yep. But typically, if you see all access on the site for your specific handicapper, you're getting all the sports.
Yes.
So if any all access length of time for me, you're going to get football baseball. It's just a double play is baseball
Which is
specific. So we'll
correct.
clear that up. Red Sox Pirates, Brian, this reminds me of the first game, or one of the parlay legs we talked about yesterday, where we had with Guardians Tigers, and I said, man, I'm not sure which team is going to be the side that scores, the side that doesn't, but I had both teams projected for less than 4 runs. Turned out neither hit 4 runs in that game. You had the under for the parlay. It was an easy winner. That's kind of how I see this one. Listen, the Pirates, yes, I understand they broke out a little bit yesterday. This team has not hit in weeks. As Vader said, pointed out correctly, they've been worse against left-handed pitching all year. And as Tokyo Brandon pointed out, there's a really good lefty on the mound for the Red Sox. What I'll say to just sort of, throw it to you and give the under some more legs here. I don't mind Chandler. If Chandler he has command issues. That's his thing. Like he's had a hard time sort of knowing where the ball is going at times, but his stuff's really good. And if he can, if he's throwing strikes here, I just don't think he's getting blown up by the Red Sox, who have also cooled off considerably from their crazy run. So I like an under 8 here as well. That's the way I would look at this one.
Yeah, you got Bennett the lefty going against Chandler the righty, and we're looking at about 125 favorite for Boston with a total of 8. And I took a look at Jake Bennett, and he's got a 58 game score on the season, but look at what he's done on the road and who he's done it either with, facing, or where he's playing them. He went to the Dodgers. He had a 52. Dodgers probably the best hitting team in baseball eventually. When the season ends, they'll be right there. He went to Sacramento to play the A's. He had a 50 game score. That's a launching pad. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. He goes to the White Sox, a team that's got a lot of good young talent, and he had a 75 game score. Goes to the Angels. Okay, not a lesser offense, but he had a 69. And then he goes to Colorado, who everybody that plays in Colorado hits, and he had a 76 game score there. So he's been very good all season, very consistent, and I think he will have some success here. I think he'll shut down this Pittsburgh offense a little bit.
Brian, can you tell the folks what generally an acceptable or a good game score is?
50 is about average, and if you got better than that, you're a pretty good pitcher. So I appreciate that. Thank you for reminding me. I talk about it all the time, but unless you join us every day, you wouldn't have known that. But yeah, he's going up against Chandler, and Chandler's pitched a lot better lately than he has before. I think he's gaining some of his confidence. So the closer for the Red Sox Chapman has not pitched in the last few days. So yeah, I've got no problem with the under here. You can actually get I see an 8.5 out there at minus 120. I've mentioned this sports book in the past. I'm not going to give them any more promotion, but if you get our line service, you can tell we're a good place to bet it under. This is a very public book and far away places, as they say. Because in Las Vegas, we don't have it. But yeah, I agree with the under here, and I wouldn't be opposed to Boston winning this game as well. I think the number's fair.
Yeah, Brian, I think the number on the side is very fair. And but to your point, Bubba Chandler has been better of late. Mm-hmm. Command's been a lot better. If you throw out that one game, and the thing is, the last time he had walk issues was against the Brewers, super patient team. Probably if any team's going to go up there, work counts, have really good at bats, like the Brewers do that as good as anyone. And even in that game, just 2 earned runs over 5 2/3. So he was 1 out away from a quality start. Last time out, 6 scoreless against the Mets. He's got 1 in there that's 6 1/3 scoreless against the Yankees. I mean, if he's throwing the ball like he can throw it, he can absolutely shut the Red Sox down, especially given the fact that they are, on the coming down a little bit. I don't want to say they're not cold per se. I know they had their little losing streak. They won yesterday, but I don't know that the Red Sox just knocked the cover off the ball the next couple weeks the way they did for a month. So yeah, I'm in on the under there. Look at Carm's hyping us up. He says, "Hey guys, great show today. Give the men a like and hit that button." Probably from his yacht after the World Cup that he had. He's probably on the yacht that he bought with the World Cup winnings. But shout out to Carm. Hope you're having a nice summer. If you like soccer, that's your guy.
Yeah.
He crushed the World Cup. He's probably again, crushed it. Like probably like 70 units in a 6-week span. Great World Cup for Carm. So,
and if you ever meet Carmine, he's like the nicest guy in the world. He'd take his shirt off his back and give it to a homeless person. He's so nice.
Not a shot. He'd be on a small sailboat. That's a modest take from Carm. We needed to get down the street to a restaurant one time. He sent a party bus. So there's no way it's a small sailboat, Carm. But
he's the most generous guy you've ever want to meet. And
absolutely.
He's just a nice guy who has the great attitude about the world. And he's a pleasure to be around. I love that guy.
Yep.
All right, Mike S., let's get back to the games. This one's I'm very interested in this one. Of course, the Rays finished an incredible road trip. I could right here bring up that 2 of the teams they played were 2 of the worst teams in the league, but I won't. But, it is the great road trip. Hey, going up to Seattle and winning those 3 games. But anyway, like winning without a slip up anywhere, super impressive. That's what the Rays just did out west. And then going from altitude up to Seattle to the park that Brian just talked about, to not slip up at all and to win every game in convincing fashion was very impressive. That being said, exactly what I expected here, Brian. The Rays are back. They're very inflated. They're now at home against a pretty good team. So Mike S. says Baltimore, Tampa. Matt says $1.60 favorite to Bradish seems off. Heavy lean to the Orioles for Mike. Heavy lean to the Orioles for Trig. What do you think, Brian? How do you see this one?
Do you know for a fact that Bradish is he's originally scheduled for tomorrow?
Let's go and let's take a look at that. I had not. Let's see. Probables for Rays. I think it actually might be Bassett tonight. I think it might be Bassett, and they may push Bradish off till tomorrow.
Yeah, they got undecided on our Odds Logics site.
So Chris Bassett is due to come back, and I don't think they had decided. It does sound like it's going to be Bassett tonight, Bradish tomorrow. So that's what it looks like.
All right. Well, the bullpen for the Orioles is in pretty good shape. Their top 4 guys haven't pitched the last 2 days. They obviously had yesterday off. A lot of teams did. And that's usually a little bit of a boost to the offense when you have a team like that coming off a day. Baltimore's a team that is on the fringes right now. They just haven't lived up to their expectations, really. And if you take a look at the standings right now, we're looking at Baltimore's still in last place, 5 games below 500. Haven't been very impressive, but they do play in a great division. And speaking of divisional play, the Tampa Bay Rays dominate their division at home. So I'm always looking for ways to look to play on Tampa when they're home against a divisional rival. And going today, they've got solid guy out there in Steven Matz, a lefty, and you're laying about 160 with Tampa Bay, 8 with the total. I wanted to play Tampa Bay. I don't think I'm going to get there. Not at this price. If I could get 150, there's a 155 out there. So maybe as the day goes on, and maybe I'll get the 150. But right now, without knowing for sure who is going to be on the mound for the Orioles, I will sit back and listen to you two.
So Tokyo Brandon, I'm almost certain it's Chris Bassett because he pitched on the 7th for Norfolk, and the Orioles didn't have a game yesterday. So my guess is, he's probably as a veteran guy, he probably doesn't want to go more than a week, without pitching. And I'm assuming that, they just talked about it, and Bradish was probably like, yeah, fine, we'll go, we'll go tomorrow. Again, that's just what I've been able to sort of put together here, because I did watch his last start at Norfolk. He's now made 3. Look great. I mean, we talk about this sometimes. How much stock do you put into rehab for a guy? Chris Bassett came out against a very good Buffalo lineup last time out. 6 shutout, 5 strikeouts. Looked awesome. It was his 3rd start. He has made 3 full starts. Like, he's ready to go. So I'm gonna handicap this as if he's just his usual self. I don't think he'll be on a pitch count. So assuming that Bassett's going to be the guy here for the Orioles raised to you. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I've never been a Bassett fan. There's a couple things that really good pitchers have in common. Number one, they don't have openers opening games for them. And number two, they don't bounce around from team to team. So both of these pitchers bounce around from team to team. And if they were any good, their teams would probably hold on to them, I would think. That's just how I think. Maybe it's a harsh critique, but he does have a whip over 1.6, and he's got an ERA over 5. I'm not a big Bassett fan, but then again, I used to like Motts when he played for the Mets. Don't like him much anymore. Actually, both of these guys played for the Mets, didn't they? But don't really like either one of these pitchers anymore. I would love to go for an over here. However, especially, the Orioles bullpen, Brian mentioned that they're rested and ready to go, but I've got them ranked 21 in current form. Not a bullpen that I really like very much. I don't like the Orioles lineup very much either. They do have good guys, but they're not producing. Pete Alonso's, he's got 27 home runs or something. He's doing okay, but not exactly, I don't think, what they expected from him. I think they expected more like a 40 home run season and a 280 average, something like that, I would think. The Rays are coming back after a very, very successful series. So that tells me that they're probably going to be flat here. So that kind of talks me off the over. If anything, I might take an Orioles team total over, but the Rays bullpen's playing so well. I don't know. First inning over 1.5 for the Orioles, if you can get one, I think would be a play here. If it's 2.5, I would lay off. Basically, in a nutshell, I like the Rays, but I don't like them coming back off a very extremely successful road trip. So I think the Rays will probably be flat here.
Yep. So a couple more things on this one that we should discuss. First of all, Steven Matz is no longer a starting pitcher. He will be an opener here. He is essentially a reliever now. The Rays have been using him as a reliever. So I expect maybe one inning from him. And then I think it's going to be Jesse Scholtens, who is also due to come. He's been rehabbing at Durham. Him and Bassett pitched on the same day in the minors last time around. So I believe Scholtens will be called back up. He's probably going to be in bulk behind Matz, or, the Rays will do whatever it is they do. Matz for 1 and 2, mix and match. They're very good at doing that. And then I fully expect it to be Chris Bassett for the Orioles, who, again, I saw reasons to, I really liked what I saw from him in a couple of rehab outings. Specifically, I watched every pitch of the most recent one, and I thought he looked great. So I really do like the Orioles here. I agree with you, TB. I think it's a potential flat spot for the Rays. It's a big game a big divisional game for the Orioles, a team that, is still on the fringes. They're still very much in the mix. They could, if they really need to have a good weekend, though. The Orioles are one of those teams where they just lost 2 of 3 from the Twins. If they can't come out and have a good weekend in Tampa, it may be all she wrote for this Orioles team. Even though I think in the American League, you can play your way back in with a good week or two at any point in time, the way this league is going this year. I'm going to hold off. I want to see how the other games play out, but like Orioles in the parlay may be what I do here. To agree with the original comment, plus 150 is great value on the Orioles to win this game. Matz to Scholtens, we're going to make that minus 170 here. I don't agree with that. So
it's a crazy number.
Yeah, that was a good discussion. A lot going on in that game. So keep an eye on who goes probable starters. Like I said, I believe it's Matz for an inning to Jesse Scholtens, and I believe Bassett will be announced as the Orioles starter as the day goes on. We're going to continue going on. Bryan Leonard's got a 5% play tonight, so make sure you get that on his page. He's been red hot and hitting the big plays too. That's something that we kind of will joke about or complain about. Sometimes you're cruising right along and then you get a 5 and you lose the 5%ers and everyone's like, wow, this guy sucks. And it's like, well, I'm actually 21-6 on my last 27, but happen to lose a couple of 5%ers. So it's great when you have a run like Brian where he's hitting the big plays as well, because we know you guys go nuts on the 5%ers. So again, Brian's got a big play tonight. Tokyo Brandon's got plays up. I will have something up. Probably going to play NFL preseason if something materializes. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Back to the chat. Alex Rand says, good morning, fellas. Nats broke out yesterday. Yes, they did, for your boy who gave him out on the show and got a lot of heat from that in the comments. Easy win for the Nationals. Alex Rand says, I trust them again today. Thoughts? I don't mind that. I mean, the spot isn't as good. Of course, Bryan Leonard, you're going to need the Nats to win today. You're not getting that nice +1.5 cushion that you got the entire Cubbies series. But Cade Cavalli went 8 innings, and Clayton Beeter came in the 9th because he needed to get some work in because he hadn't worked in a few days. So Nationals, slight underdog, very, very fresh bullpen. You'll get all of the top arms here behind Alvarez today. And for the Mets, it's former Doosan. Was it Doosan Bear, Robert Stock TV?
Yeah,
back in the majors. Back in the majors. Good for him, by the way. Really cool story for him being like almost out of affiliated ball completely. Couple surgeries, went over to Korea, has worked his way back, and now he's back in the big leagues with the Mets, and he's throwing the ball well. So props to Robert Stock. But let me rephrase. Was throwing the ball well to get there. Since he's come back to the big league level, I think he got blown up once, maybe one good start, one bad one. So, Alex, I don't mind the Nationals as an underdog. Let's see if Brian agrees. Nats, Mets to you.
Yeah, I don't have much on this one. We're looking at stock about a 115 favorite here, total of 8.5. I know the Nationals are lousy in the first game of a series for some reason. And the Mets are a team right now I'm looking to play. You mentioned Washington the rest of the season. You thought they'd have some value. I agree. I'm looking to play on both these teams right now. Everybody thinks the Mets have given up on the season, the star players are out. I watch the games. I'm seeing more excitement out of the Mets in the last week or two than I have all season long. They may not make the playoffs. In fact, they won't make the playoffs, but they're playing with some heart, and they do have a lot of talent on this team, a lot of young talent that I like. So I think the line's right. So I'm not going to have anything on this one.
TB, yeah, our guy Robert Stock, former Doosan Bear, came up, had a really good start. His first appearance back in the big leagues, which was his first time in the bigs in like 5 years. And then the next time out, ran into a Pirates offense that lit him up pretty good and hung him for like 8 earned in 3 innings, which is why, of course, his numbers look the way that they do. That being said, he's on the mound at home tonight. Mets Nationals. How do you see this one?
So again, Brian has a 5er out. I've got a couple MLB plays. Adam will also, so grab 2 of us for a double play. Or if you only like one of us, WagerTalk also has something called a triple play. You can get 6 days all access for the price of 3 all access baseball. Anything that's called double play or triple play obviously is baseball only. So go to wagertalk.com and grab some of those for us. And compensate us for the information we're giving you. We would greatly appreciate it. So let's get to this game. So you're telling me that the biggest team of quitters, which is the New York Mets, with a pitcher who doesn't belong in Major League Baseball. Adam's right. He was pitching well, but let's face it, I don't think he's MLB level quite yet. I think he's more a AAA kind of guy. Agreed. Against Alvarez, who's pitching quite well. Actually, my expected numbers for Alvarez, I got him ranked 11 on a curve of 30. He's pitching really well. It's Alvarez today, right? Yeah. I mean, he's pitching really well. And I got both lineups cranking. So the one thing about the Mets, though, they are hitting quite well. I got them ranked 5 out of 30, where I got the Nationals ranked 8 out of 30. So they're both top 5, top 10-ish kind of lineups in current form. But the Nationals bullpen's actually playing quite well lately, which is surprising because they used to be like auto 2 earned runs as soon as they entered the game about a week ago. But they've kind of turned it around a little bit. They're actually playing better than the Mets bullpen, in my opinion. Current form, meaning last week, last 10 days. Current form, guys. Doesn't mean the Nationals bullpen is better than the Mets bullpen. But they're playing better right now. I don't see why the Mets are favored in this game. I don't see it. Is it the record? They got 53 wins? No, Nationals have 60. Something's off on this line. Something's fishy here. If I were to play this game, I would play the Nationals all the way.
Tokyo Brandon, I think you sort of just made like that's exactly what I've kind of been trying to say with the Nats. Like it's the perception that they got significantly worse because they traded all these couple of players away. Okay,
The Mets traded some players too.
and then exactly, and then the other thing is, and this is the one thing that I think you could say is like very relevant to the Nationals' success. James Wood being out certainly matters. Guy's a generational talent, but I think it's been overbaked into the lines all week. Like we know he's out. He's been out for we're going over a week now. There's this thought process that the Nats shipped away all this talent. Well, yeah, Luis Garcia, nice player. Curtis Mead, nice player, but neither was considered to be great before the season. And like honestly, Abby Ortiz has been awesome. Guy's hitting balls to the moon. He put one in the third deck at Nationals Park the other night, and then Brady House has been very good. So you got House and Ortiz, which in my opinion, that's just a even trade. Mead and Garcia, even swap for Ortiz and House. And like you said, like Robert Stock's a great point. 4A guy, not really a KBO 4A AAA type guy. Whereas Alvarez is someone I can get behind a little bit. I'm going to make this my parlay leg. I'm going to put Nationals. I'm going to take Nationals on the money line here. I too do not believe they should be an underdog in this game. So let's do it for a second day in a row. What am I seeing here, Brian? Plus 105?
105, yep.
And the Nationals look like geniuses trading Foster Griffin right when they traded him. What does he put up 5 earned runs every single start he's out there? He looks terrible.
Yeah, and with all of that, though, here's the thing. What they did, yes, they sold off some pieces they sold high on some guys, in my opinion. They brought back Giovanni Cruz. They brought back Jake Bird. Brad Lord comes off the IL. And suddenly this team that was winning games in spite of a terrible bullpen for 3 months, a horrible bullpen, suddenly has a little bit better of a bullpen. So now you go in, and Andrew Alvarez gives you 5-6 strong innings, which he's done a lot this year. Like he's pretty much, you can count on him for 5 good ones. Honestly, you're probably going to get just the way this sets up. You may get Alvarez followed by Brad Lord, and that might be your pitching for the Nats tonight with maybe Jake Bird to get a righty out. It's a good setup for the Nats here. So I'm with you, TB. I don't understand why they're a dog. And so that's going to be my leg of the parlay. Let's go to Freebird. Freebird, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Much appreciated. Freebird's the man, always hopping in the chat. He says, Astros with Lambert tonight, ? Let's roll. Peter Lambert, Brian. He has done nothing but impress me all season. Yeah. When I was like trying to, when I was trying to like evaluate the Astros coming into the year, like I thought this might have been Ryan Weiss. Another KBO guy came back. I was like, Ryan Weiss is going to come back and have a really good year for the Astros. Hasn't worked out with him. He's been down at AAA, but Peter Lambert's been that guy that's kind of come out of nowhere. TB, was he in Japan at one point?
He was.
Yeah. The reason I bring that up is there's hard evidence now of pitchers going to Asia, whether it be Japan or Korea. Foster Griffin's another one. Yeah, he had a couple bad starts, but he's another guy that they come back and they're different guys. They learn different ways to pitch. They also learn, Brian, something I love, this is probably the best thing they learn. They get to go and compete as a starter every 5th day at a high level, whereas if they were in the league prior, they may not have had the rotation spot. That's why a lot of these guys go to Korea in their 20s, because they want to start games every 5th day and then come back with the chance to start. So Peter Lambert's been a guy that has become far more reliable, in my opinion, than I ever imagined him to be at the big league level. And the Astros are going to rely on him here at home tonight. Mariners coming back from all the way from New York down to the Lone Star State with no day off in between. It's George Kirby. So Mariners, Astros to you. Do you agree with Freebird? Do you like the Stros here?
Yeah, I do. Lambert's about a 124, 123, 124 favorite. Total of 8. Yeah, I've talked many times about the Seattle pitchers when they go on the road. You can really tell how how good they are. And Kirby's fine. They even got some. I can't believe Anderson's not up yet, but Kate Anderson, but he's on the cusp. Maybe it's because of the manipulation and whatever. We'll figure out in the next couple of days. But they've got some really good pitchers on this Seattle team. But Lambert's done very well, and to get Houston, who I consider at this point to be the better hitting team, because Seattle really has not hit very well all year long. And as much as I've struggled with the Houston offense in the past, they're younger guys that they stuck with are now starting to come around and hit a little bit. So if I'm playing, as Teddy Strabransky would say, I'm laying in this one because it's a reasonable price to play Houston at home with Lambert, I think.
Tokyo Brandon, Peter Lambert was on the Swallows last year.
With
Tokyo
Murakami.
Cult Swallows. And
Murakami's team. Yeah.
Comes back again.
About the Swallows, I got in trouble, I think.
Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, you're in Vegas. I thought prostitution's legal out there.
Oh, Jesus. That's I always anytime that team
went off the hill, that went off the rails real quick, didn't it?
I just remember Johnny Knoxville used to wear that jersey on Jackass. That's what anytime I see that jersey or that team name, I think of that. Peter Lambert though, he didn't have like this crazy year in Japan, but just like the ability to go out, pitch every fifth day, and get that experience, it helps these guys a ton. I think that's why you see guys come back from Asia and like have instant success as a starter.
Yep. Now
you get them with some big league pitching coaches, especially the Astros, who tend to do a pretty good job with pitchers. I'm kind of with Brian. If I have to play this one, which I don't know if I will, I'm probably on the Astros, who have been playing great ball, really going on a couple months now. So Mariners Astros, is this the dreaded consensus agreement here?
Well, speaking of Asian baseball, tonight at 9 p.m. on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be doing a live Asian baseball betting show. So come catch that with me. So yes, Peter Lambert pitched with the Swallows. He wasn't exactly great, like you said. And, neither was Robert Stock in Korea. He was good, but he wasn't great. I think pitching in Asia, to be honest, I think other countries, especially Asian countries, have a better work ethic than American teams, because I think MLB teams are more talented, like twice as more talented. So I think players in America rely more on their talent than they do on practicing basics and, practicing. Basically, you got guys like Manny Machado who basically walk to first base on ground outs. You never see that in Asia. So I think they just develop a good work ethic, and also it gives them a chance to develop a new pitch here and there. So I think that's the reason. You guys can disagree. I'm not calling Americans lazy, but I think Major League Baseball players are so uber talented that they don't really have to practice hard. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense, Brian?
Oh yeah, I firmly agree with you. From what
I'm not bad mouthing Americans. I'm American, so. But sometimes when you're so talented, you just don't have to practice anymore. So I think that's what it is. I think because Lambert's not exactly uber talented, so he's one of those guys that probably has to practice to be good. Regarding today's game, we do have a dreaded consensus here. Unfortunately, Astros are doing everything better than the Mariners right now. I got them ranked 13 in hitting, where I got the Mariners ranked 28. And I especially like the Astros bullpen more than the Mariners bullpen right now. As a matter of fact, I got the Astros bullpen ranked number 2 in Major League Baseball in current form. And I got Lambert ranked higher than Kirby. So I don't think Lambert's a better pitcher than Kirby, but I think he can handle the number 28 lineup in current form better than Kirby can handle the better Houston lineup. So yeah, I would have to agree with both of you guys. So watch the Mariners come out and win 12-0.
One more Asian baseball tie-in to this. Tetsuya Imai, since the Astros moved him to the bulk bullpen guy, has been awesome, phenomenal. And I believe he's probably due to pitch tomorrow or Sunday. Why does that matter here? Because the Astros will probably unleash all the big boys in this game if they need to, knowing that they can pretty much at this point, they pretty much know that they can, I'll think they'll even put him in to pitch innings 7, 8, and 9 if they have to. Like, he's been that good since going to that bulk role that I believe that the Astros have unlocked something there. They're going to use him like that the rest of the way. And you're going to see Amai come in relief maybe every 3 or 4 days, throw 3 innings and just shut another team down. Props to whoever in the chat, because I bet this with you, whoever in the chat said on the day that they were like Astros plus 5-1, plus 500 to win the division is something they bet. And I came in and said, that is a great bet. They asked us on the show if it was a good bet. I said, it's a great bet. I jumped on that with you, and I feel really good about that. I think they're going to run away with this division. This is so much better. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, TB.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you, Adam. Nothing personal. I'm American, and I love America more than anything. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Americans are lazy, because I'm American too.
But yeah, no. And listen, we're not. That is the Asian culture much more disciplined than ours. That's not even an argument.
Discipline, I think, is a better word. I said lazy. I think more discipline is a better word. Americans are less disciplined in baseball because they're just more talented. Americans are more talented than any country in baseball, period. We know that.
I said the other day when we stood, Brian and I can't remember, we were talking about the American League, and I was like, man, like, it's either the AL East, those teams out in the AL East, or the one team that I think is starting to play their way into the conversation of being a really, really legitimate team is the Houston Astros. I think they're going to run away with this division. I think by the middle of September, they'll have a 7-game lead on the rest of these teams. I just have very little faith in the Mariners at this point. The Rangers are an average team. And so, yeah, Astros is the way I would go here.
And what happened to DeGrom? Is he just old, or is he just – sorry, it's opening a new can of worms, but, man, he looked bad yesterday.
Injured, I believe.
Okay. He's looked
Brian,
bad
I'm going
3 straight starts, though.
So, Brian, I'm going to you. Have we talked about your parlay leg yet, or do you want to throw us a game here?
No, we have not. Did TB give out his parlay leg?
We covered it.
His after. We got time.
Okay.
We covered it.
Well, I know you got a plus 105, and on the situation with underdogs, I've got one here, and I think it's got some nice value here, but it's a long shot. I'm going to take a look at Arizona here against Atlanta. They got Brandon Pfaadt going for Arizona against Chris Sale, the lefty. The full game is looking at about $2 on sale with a total of 8. $2 on sale. Hey, that's a deal. But I'm going to take a look at the first half of this game and just match up the starting pitchers in Brandon Pfaadt and Chris Sale. Brandon Pfaadt this year has got a 58 game score. I told you that 50 is league average. When he started the year, he struggled out of the gate. He played Detroit, Atlanta, and Philadelphia, struggled at that point, and then they sent him to the bullpen. Well, since he has been back as a starting pitcher, his numbers are 76, 68, 72, 53, 57, 56, 68, 57, all well above the league average of 50. He's pitching great right now. And if you take a look at Arizona versus lefty. Sorry, I'm trying to find it on my screen here. They've got a 115 WRC plus versus lefties this season. The last 30 days, they got a 115 overall. I know they're going up against Chris Sale here. Chris Sale, especially at home, he's been terrific. But to get Brandon Pfaadt right now at 175, plus 175, and they got to outscore him by 1 run in the first 5 innings. I think that's a bargain here. It would not surprise me if your total in the first 5 is 4.5 under like 130. That's not a bad bet either. I think both starters are going to have some success here. But to get Pfaadt plus 175, I mean, seeing 180 out there for the first 5, I think is something that I have to get a piece of. And obviously, when you have a 180 underdog, they're not going to win as often. But when it does, it's a nice payout. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying, in a normal game, if you flip a coin, it's 50-50. We're trying to bet on a line that is giving us more back than what we think the average, the chances of that team winning. And I think that's a situation here for Arizona. So if you don't like it, you could take a half a run in the first 5. I think you're laying them like 125. I think I'm gonna take it for the full. First 5 at the plus 175, 180.
I love that. I'm looking at the Diamondbacks as well today. TB, D-backs Braves to you. How do you see this one?
Yeah, what's going on with Brandon Pfaadt? I mean, looking at his career stats and games, he's a full 1.5 runs better ERA this season than in his career. So either he needs to be tested or he's added a new pitch, or, there's two aspects to pitching. It's not just having good stuff. You have to have good stuff, obviously, but you have to have an arsenal of pitches. Like I watched Roki Sasaki yesterday. I know he calls his pitches a bunch of different names, but he's just got the same pitch. It just goes there and it drops. It just goes there and it drops every single time. There's no tricking people. You got to be able to trick people. And you have to be able to not only have the arsenal, but you have to use it properly. Like Trevor Bauer is the master at using his pitches in the right situation and tricking people. They make tunnels and they trick people that way. So you got to be a master at doing that. I guess he's just picked that up. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys know.
I can explain it exactly if you want me to.
But please explain it in just a minute. But I'll just say that I agree with you guys that the Diamondbacks are probably the play here because of the number. It's one of those games where the Braves are probably going to win, but you have to take the Diamondbacks at plus 180 just for the value. So that I kind of agree with Brian. I probably won't play it, but it's one of those games where you can't play the Braves at that price against a pitcher who's on fire. So yeah.
TB, you basically explained it. I'll just put it into a little bit of additional context. Brandon Pfaadt got up with a big fastball. And you can, if you have a big fastball that moves and you can throw your fastball for strikes and guys aren't squaring it up, which is Pfaadt, like you can get through the minor leagues. Like even like go down to AAA right now. If you've got a plus fastball with good movement and you can consistently throw it for strikes, you have a whole career at AAA. You'll get outs at AAA. You'll be there forever. Teams will pick you up left and right. It's when you get into big leagues and that's your only pitch, you will get exposed by the best hitters in the world. And that's exactly what happened to Pfaadt. He came up, he had success. As soon as they figured out he couldn't throw a second pitch, he guys started to and like you said, all like his pitches, then he was throwing a couple variations of fastball that looked similar. It was too easy for big league hitters. What he's done now, props to the Diamondbacks, because a lot of organizations are stubborn like this. He experimented with a second pitch. I think it was like a changeup for a while or a curveball, and it wasn't working. And they embraced him and said, you know what? You throw a really good fastball. We just want you to throw fastballs, but we're going to work on different variations of your fastball. So he started to throw a sinker more. He started to throw a cutter more. And now basically the majority of the pitches he throws are all like 94 mile an hour fastballs, but he throws them just a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And he's got hitters off balance just enough where now that the curveball that he was trying to throw, that was not a competitive pitch, will actually work sometimes because it's a different look. He doesn't even have to really throw it for strikes. He kind of just throws it out there just to give him something different to look at. And you can tell that this is working because his hard hit rate is excellent. He doesn't give up a ton of hard hit. It means, like Brandon, like you're saying, the tunneling is perfect and all those pitches move slightly different. It does just enough to keep these guys off balance. He doesn't strike anyone out, really. Like he's getting very little swing and miss, which means they know it's coming and they still can't do anything about it. And because the Diamondbacks embrace that with him, that's why he's having the success that he's having. And again, like this has been going on. We brought this up on the show a couple times. That's why he's having such a good year. And I don't know that there's teams that can really do much about that because it's three different fastballs. They're deceptive. They all look exactly the same. And then suddenly one is sinking, one cuts in, one gets on you a little bit quicker. Guys they're struggling with that. So that's why Pfaadt is having as much success. And that's why I'm with Brian. I kind of love the Diamondbacks here. Find a way to play Arizona at this price.
I think Sasaki needs another pitch because all of his pitches look exactly the same to me. maybe I'm missing something, but I was watching yesterday. It's every single pitch, exact same course. He's going to get whacked if he doesn't do something. Anyways,
dude, that's the thing with you'll listen to any big league pitcher talk about it. Like if you're not constantly trying to develop the next thing, unless you're just in there, unless you're someone like a Bubba Chandler that you can just throw 100 and make your whole career on that. Like you always got to be looking for the next thing. This league is so good, they will figure you out if you don't, you're not constantly evolving. So that's a really good point, TB. Tokyo Brandon, who are you putting in this parlay?
I'm going to take the Red Sox on the money line. That's going to be my parlay leg. We've already covered it, so we don't have to rehash it. I gave all my reasoning at the beginning of the show. Give me the Red Sox. I think they're minus 170, Brian.
Not quite. No. Red Sox are not that high. They're going to be like minus 125 or something like that.
Oh, you're kidding. Yeah. Oh, I'll take it.
You were going to play them at minus 170?
Heck yeah.
That should be your game of the year. Yeah, they're about 125 right now.
My mistake.
Oh, hold on. I'm looking at the first half. Excuse me. Hold on.
It's not going to be 170.
Yeah, 125. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Give that.
To me. I mean, listen, we were going to be in the plus if we hit the 3-teamer anyway, but with some of these odds today, we'll be way in the plus if we can hit this one. What was your juice on that Diamondbacks play again, Brian?
Plus 175.
Yeah, I mean, this will be a big one if we can hit this one. Mr. Big Hands, because you asked the other day, he's in here. He asked for a AAA just thought the other day. I think I threw out Sacramento, and I think they won. He said, we need a AAA thought for tonight. I'll give you one quick one. I believe Joe Musgrove will make his third rehab start for El Paso tonight at home. And they're playing neither of those teams, El Paso or Salt Lake, is very good. Neither have much pitching. So the fact that you're getting like the dress rehearsal from Musgrove here, probably 5 or 6 innings, makes El Paso a good bet. So there you go. That's my quick thought for AAA. Joe Musgrove, El Paso, probably going to be like minus 120. So that would be something I'll be looking at for later. For the parlay,
Brian's 5% play. He doesn't put a lot of them out.
Yeah, Brian's very conservative with when he releases the 5%ers, and they've been hitting all summer. So absolutely something you should be looking at today if you're betting Major League Baseball, without a doubt. Grab the 5%er, get it in the double play, get it as part of one of the great long-term specials that we have on the site. Freebird says Red Sox roll. He agrees with you, Tokyo Brandon. He agrees with you, Tokyo Brandon. Red Sox minus 125 for TB. That's a full game side. Yep. I'm going with a full game side on Nationals plus 105. And then Bryan Leonard is juicing this thing to the moon here. D-backs first 5 money line plus 175. So we've got D-backs first 5 money line plus 175, Nationals plus 105, Red Sox minus 125. This will be up there. This might be one of our biggest odds of the year.
Just gotta win.
We hit one the other day that was like plus 720,
760,
something like that. 760. Yeah. So maybe we got another one in us right here. That's our show today. The 3 of us will be back tomorrow for more Total Bases. Remember, 10 a.m. Eastern on Saturday ahead of last call. We will see you guys then. Have a great day, everybody.